Hi everybody, thank you for tuning into another video on TK's Tech Corner. Today I'm going to be looking at a product that I've actually purchased to help me make better videos and upload better quality content to YouTube. So I recently moved house. Previously I was recording all my YouTube videos on my dining table with a temporary setup. Every time I record I'm setting up my temporary recording studio and then unwinding it at the end of the recording session. Quite a lengthy process all in all. And I'm now trying to create a more dedicated recording space, which I'm very far from completing at the moment. The very temporary setup at the moment is I've got a desk in a room with a very bad lighting condition, and the problem here is, as you can see, it's casting a lot of shadows on what I'm trying to record. I've tried to use an LED sort of clip-on light that's connected to my phone, which is what I currently use to record my videos, which I also want to make a move away from to try to use a proper recording device. Again, to upload better quality, hopefully move to 4K videos, and this LED light, even though it is being used as some sort of a fill light, is what I'm trying to achieve. It's still not getting rid of all the shadows, and it's probably creating more shadows of its own. I'm hoping this light here, it's a big LED lighting panel. It's an, I think 17.8 or 18 inch LED light panel. Allows me to provide an even light distribution and a soft light distribution on the table, and hopefully not get any shadows on the table or on the subjects that I'm recording. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. It's by a company called NEEWER, who make photography gear. I've never used any of their gear personally. They seem to have good reviews on YouTube. So let's go ahead and open this panel up and see what it's all about. So inside the outer packaging, which is the cardboard box, the unit comes, or the whole lot comes enclosed in its own sort of soft carry case. Probably needs it because it's so big. So I'm just going to get the box out of the way, and we'll go ahead and get this out of the plastic bag, and we can take a look at it. One of the things that I was looking for when I was looking for a light was something that is mains powered or powered through USB. This can actually operate through a battery pack, and I think it uses Sony camera battery packs, but I wasn't really interested in something that I had to charge. I'd rather have something that, as part of a dedicated setup, is connected to the mains and always ready to go. So we've got the handle on there as well, which I just Velcro off. And there's a bit of information there in order to minimize health hazards, blah blah blah, great stuff. An operation manual and what looks like a quick setup guide. So there's also a 2.4 GHz wireless remote control that also seems to have a screen on it, and I'm guessing that's going to be giving the same sort of information on the LCD. I think it's a crystal LCD screen on the back of the panel itself. So what you're seeing there in the box, I believe, is the actual whole panel. I'm going to get it out of this foam packaging, but that literally is the whole panel. That's huge. It's like a laptop screen. Look at that. Now, what I'm hoping that I'm seeing here is this is a diffuse light panel, so it should be offering very soft light, and that means I should expect less shadows because it's going to be less harsh and direct light coming onto the subjects I'm recording. The fact that it's very large means it's going to provide a very large area of light, or light up a very large area, and that also, I hope, eliminates shadows. And the recording device, the tricky part is going to be getting it set up correctly, because it's a large device. I need to have it in a position that gives even light across the table where I'm recording, and at the same time have the camera mounted in a position in front of this or on top or on bottom of it, where I can get a good centered image, but at the same time not cast a shadow off the camera or the recording device on the table as well, because that's not going to look great. Hopefully this is powerful enough to reflect off the wall and provide a sort of a fill light effect in all directions and eliminate as many shadows as possible. Looking at the back of the panel here, and again you can see where the battery packs go in. 2 battery packs here by the looks of it. You've got controls, various controls. So this here I believe is an LCD display. We've got brightness control, and that's increments of 1 to 100%. and this is just a digital dial here, so it's not analog, so I can just keep on rotating it. And then we've got color temperature from 32K to 5600K as well. Now this is just going to be white and soft white light, right? There are panels out there that offer colored light as well, but I didn't need any of them. This is just strictly for recording of videos, and for that I just needed natural white sort of light. And also a 15 volt 3 amp DC jack, and the DC adapter I believe is included in the packaging, which is another reason I bought this, so I didn't have to faff around trying to find another power supply. From a mount, this is quite a heavy unit. I think this weighs about 1.1 kilos, so it's going to be interesting how I get this held in position on my tripod. I have got a very sturdy Manfrotto tripod, so I think it will hold it, because it was holding my old DSLR camera, which probably weighed about the same, if not a tiny bit more, but we'll see. So standard mount options there, and through these mount options I should be able to connect a cold shoe mount adapter that will allow me to connect it to the cold shoe, and we might even have one in the box. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside for a second before I turn it on. There is most certainly an adapter in the actual box as well, which is great, as you can see there. So that's the power pack. Just going to use standard 2-pin figure of 8 connector there, IEC, whatever it is, and a standard DC power jack there. Remote control looks quite nice. We've probably got to stick some batteries in there, so 2 AAA batteries are what it takes. Batteries may or may not be included. I can't see any so far in the packaging, so it may be that batteries have not been included with this, which is fine. I've got some batteries I can stick in. And here is probably a tripod mount, so there we go. There is a mount included. This shape here looks like it's going to fit onto the back of the light panel, and it's going to make good contact with that large panel and hold it in place quite securely. One day there may be a screw included with this as well, and then this mount here is adjustable as well, and itself has the option to connect, for example, cold shoe adapter that will allow me to connect it to a tripod, and I can angle this up and down after loosening the screw, which means it's going to offer flexibility in terms of positioning the light in the right direction as well. So that's that. I'm going to go and set this aside, and let's have a look at what else we've got. This is just going to be a standard 3-pin plug, I believe. Yep, it is, and I'm not really going to need that right now, so I'll push it aside and we'll just have a look at what else we've got in the packaging. There is a screw here which I may have just pushed into the polystyrene and is therefore going to be quite difficult to get out. I'm just going to try and get this out. Right, there's a screw there, so this will be used to attach this to the light unit, and I'll just try and quickly screw that in just to show you that. I'm guessing this is how it's going to be because I haven't really read the instructions. If I start reading the instructions, I'll waste too much time and end up making this video a lot longer than it needs to be. So I believe this is going to screw in here. As you know, with my videos, I generally don't like reading instructions manuals. I like to just try and figure it out. Sometimes it's probably painful to watch, but there we go. So that's fit on quite securely, and that's holding the light unit very well, as you can see there. And that's going to hold this up and in place and hopefully not snap, because this light unit is quite heavy. I just realised whilst recording, so I stopped the video. I've actually got this the wrong way around. So I was talking about not using manuals and quick setup guides, but it just shows that sometimes it's probably useful to read instructions, because that would have probably broken. It didn't feel very secure, and actually this is supposed to go this way around, where the mount actually slides into the light, or over the sort of bottom part of the light there, and now all of a sudden that feels a lot more sturdy and secure. This is seated in that position a lot better as well, and if I get the screw now, I'll probably find that the screw will go in and hold this thing very securely in place, as you can see there. That looks a lot more secure now, feels a lot more secure, and doesn't feel like it's going to break, which is great. Hopefully this is going to hold the light securely in place as well. Yes, it is. And that gives me a lot more confidence now that this thing is going to be able to hold in place with this mount without any issues. So that's that. It looks a lot better now. Quick look at the remote. I think we looked at the remote already, so there it is. I'm going to put some batteries in there just to see what that looks like. And I think I've got some batteries to hand if I just grab them. I may or may not have any kicking around here. But if I can find a couple of batteries, we'll just put them in there to see what it looks like. I've grabbed a few batteries from the charger that may or may not be charged. But it would really be nice to see this remote display just to give you an idea of what it looks like and what information we can expect to see on there. These batteries are probably completely dead. It's not turning on at all. I'm just going to try another set of batteries. I won't waste too much time with this, but if I can find some charged batteries, it will give you some idea and give me some idea as well of what that display looks like. So hopefully I can find some batteries that are going to work, but no such luck. All my batteries are dead. Now if I had looked at what batteries it was going to take in advance, I would have probably made sure that I had some charged batteries ready to go. And I'm literally just going through all the batteries I've got here without a battery tester. But again, unfortunately none of the batteries are charged, so I can't really show you the remote working. Not a major problem. What I will do is I'll plug the light into a power source just so that we can turn it on and we can see the actual light unit working, and just mess around with the dimming controls, etc., and see what that looks like. So there you go. I've gone through a bunch of batteries, and sod the law, when you need them, none of them are going to work. So I might as well plug this into the mains and turn it on from the controls on the back and just mess around with them. So let's get this untangled, and I'm going to just pause the video for a second and get this connected into a power source. So I'm back, and I have connected this light source to a power source. As you can see there, I've connected the DC adapter in there, and we're going to go and turn it on. So it's not going to work in the 1 switch, it's going to work in the 2 switch. You can immediately see there that is a very even and bright light. I could probably put some paper on there and do some tracing if I wanted to. The more important thing is what happens if I put it upside down. So just to look at the back quickly, we can see the LCD display there. If I try and hold it a bit closer to the camera, if I turn it off, you probably won't be able to see it. I'm going to just turn the dial there, and as I turn the dial you can see the color temperature changing, and if I hold it down a little bit you'd probably see that color temperature changing against the table there as well. So you can see it's getting a lot warmer at the lower end, which is 3200 Kelvin, and then as I go up it starts getting a lot more intense and bright, going all the way up to 5600 K. And then the actual brightness, this is at the moment on 1% brightness, and I can increase brightness in increments of 1% all the way up to 100%. And I'm probably never going to need this thing at 100% because it's probably going to give me a suntan while I'm recording, which I definitely don't want. But as you can see, 100%, that is extremely bright. Now I'm going to turn that right down to 1% because that's probably what I'm going to be running this at. I haven't got a big recording space and the light is humongous, so I definitely don't need anything more than 1%. The important thing here at the moment is the shadow. So if I just try and hold this up a little bit, right, and maybe hold this here, I'm holding this right above, actually holding it above my recording equipment, so above the phone, and as you can see, even though there is actually a device directly in front of it, my shadows are pretty much gone, and that is at 1% brightness. So immediately you can see the benefits of having a proper light source for recording if you're wondering whether or not it's a good investment for you, I would definitely say yes it is, because that is giving an extremely even light. Once I position this thing properly on a tripod, it's definitely going to help me record better quality videos. As you can see, look at that, it's completely improved. As a game changer, complete game changer from a lighting perspective. As I said, what I'm finding incredible is this thing is actually behind my phone. My phone is directly in front of it, and there is zero shadow of that device and my microphones and everything else coming into the picture here. You cannot see them at all. If I hold it underneath, obviously you'll be able to see what's going on, but for me to show you that effect, this had to be above the phone, otherwise you would see in the actual view here. I have also taken the opportunity just to get some batteries for the camera. So if I hold that middle button on, you can see, so not the camera, the remote, so the remote is also on, and now if I press that button, you can see the light source is turning on and off, and I'll also be able to set the brightness and the color temperatures there. As you can see, that is adjusting the brightness, so it does cycle from 100%. I think it can go all the way down to all the way back down to 1%, I suppose, as you can see there. And then also change the color temperature. I'm guessing that's the channel for connectivity, so we'll leave it on channel 1. I probably want to change the mode, there we go, set the color temperature, and as you can see there now, I'm also able to change the color temperature from the remote. So really cool to have that handy. I can have that here while I'm recording, for example, and not have to rely on standing up and messing around with a dial on the back of the light whilst it's positioned up there. Now again, there you can see this here is working at 1%, 5600K, and you can see the quality of that light. Once again, I'm holding it above my recording equipment, absolutely no shadow being cast there whatsoever. So hopefully this is one step to being able to record better quality videos for yourselves, my viewers, and this is a way of me showing my appreciation for the support you give my channel by subscribing and watching my videos, and this is me investing back in the channel to try and make better quality videos for yourselves to enjoy. And on that note, I'd say thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up. Any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below, and I will answer them as soon as I can. And also, please, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button to support my channel. Thanks for watching, take care, and all the best.